So I'm trying to use the rear camera on my phone at the moment. The reason is because ever since I started live streaming, it's bugged me, because I look at the phone and I see myself on the screen, and I never liked it. I knew there was something wrong in terms of mentality, what it does to a person. Since I started, I've not been able to find a solution. And just now, it was like, as I was preparing the app to make the live stream, I must have pressed the change camera button by mistake, and it said front camera or something. And I thought, alright, it's dark, the rear camera's probably better for making live streams. And then it occurred to me that if I actually use the rear camera, I don't have to look at myself, and I can explore what it is exactly about looking at myself whilst making these live streams that is so wrong that I can't put my finger on, but I know. So it's only going to be a quick live stream. The other day I had a guy at the Collective Psychosis. In a way I haven't expressed on live streams for quite a while, and it was with a lot of anger, a lot of pain, and it was with a lot of depression. And essentially, ever since I made that live stream, I've been on hold with life. I haven't been able to be me. And that's been 2 or 3 days now. I've been functioning, I've been getting on, but I said to myself, look, everything stops. Just, I knew if I was to think about the thing that triggered me, Collective Psychosis, I wouldn't find an answer. Or I'd have to make drastic changes on top of drastic changes on top of drastic changes. So what I said is, look, I'm just going to carry on with life. I know where I am roughly, there and thereabouts, but in terms of just being true in any way, I just have to stop. And if I wake up and I do anything, great. If I don't, so be it. I've given myself permission to just stop. And that's been the first time since I was released from hospital at the start of last year. It's not all hospital's fault. I've had to move in that time and get used to the basics, bare minimum basics of what it takes to live on a boat, as opposed to a flat with central heating, electricity, plumbed water, etc. Organise the work, organise the rest of my life, and it's been difficult. I've been non-stop. This is the first time I can really remember me saying, look, I've stopped. Whatever I achieve in a day doesn't matter. It's not the point at the moment. If I live on a boat, if my boat sinks, anything like that, it just doesn't matter. All that matters is to wake up and just be for 3 days. It's like the Mayan 3 days out of time for me at the moment. That's what it feels like. I've been working non-stop for the longest time, and it's like, right, I've gone through the maddest times this past year, and I haven't stopped. I mean, I've broken inside, I've stopped inside, but in terms of life, I've kept functioning. And now's, well, it's not that now's any really more difficult than the times before. It's more a case of now is like just an opportunity. It was almost like an opportunity to do nothing, to stop, to just take time out. And I've not really had that opportunity. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to rest. My life is still so stressful, and I'm still getting worked up and everything else. But one, to give myself permission to just not think about the stresses in life. You know, if I get sectioned, if I get evicted from my boat, if it gets taken away, all the real stresses I think about most days just doesn't matter at the moment. And I knew that if I took this approach for a few days and just sat with this latest annoyance with the collective psychosis, and to reflect on it in a few days, it'd probably be the best solution. One, to find out the answer, and two, I half knew that giving myself that time off wasn't a bad idea. So I decided upon that, and I made the live stream around that time, and I really had a go at you all. First time, as I said, in a long time. But I just had to ponder again on what I'm going to be doing. You know, how am I going to get myself out of this experience that's not pleasant? What's the way forward on top of all the drastic changes I've had to make recently? Well, the realization is I've made positive changes to life, and to a certain extent they're working on one level, but I've been bugged in the back of my mind because I know I can't take anything for granted with the collective psychosis. If I look at you all without the right level of consciousness, so I'm just looking for my smokes. If I look at you all without the right level of consciousness, you'll make me pay for it. And I realise that the change that I'm making within myself has implications of how I present towards you all. And the main change, is that I'm sitting on it. The main change that I've had to make is to be a lot nicer, a lot more polite, cut off as much as possible any form of expression of my true feelings towards the collective psychosis and other human beings. And to be polite, because that just makes life easier. But I realised I needed to view the collective psychosis as different. I needed to view you all how I know what I know of you. In other words, I complain about all the lack of honesty in terms of life and the collective, the true collective, and it's to ignore that. Because I know whatever you're doing in that place, one, you're suffering on a level that you can't compare. Like me, I can't compare my suffering to some of the real suffering that goes on in this world that we don't even acknowledge because it's so it's almost like a common occurrence, and we don't acknowledge the real suffering that must take place in that place. But like me, just to see that suffering is a killer. And you suffer it on some level. And I know, this is what I believe, and I know that you're all in pain too. Maybe to a greater or a lesser extent, but you're definitely all in pain. I know you're definitely all in pain. I know you're all in pain. And I believe you're aware of the pain, or at least you're working on that level, even though you don't show it. The other thing I know of you, so whatever you're doing to me and my life and my personal suffering is out of love. And ultimately that's what I know. And I had to make the decision because my life was getting so hard. Not pretending, because I'm not certain. It's just, that's my suspicion, that's my intuition, and that's what knowing is. It's just admitting what you intuit and how that correlates to life and how it doesn't. So in other words, is your intuition in tune with life, or is your intuition in tune with a fantasy? And my intuition says that it's all about love on the whole. Whatever scenario, whatever stories put in front of me in the finality, in terms of the collective psychosis, you operate out of love. But it looks like anything but love. It looks, well, I say it looks, it feels anything but love. Now the search for a lighter. It feels anything but love, but I know when I've looked into the eyes of someone who's just about to do me wrong, there's an element of emotional sobriety within their eyes. In other words, I know what I'm doing, and then they do something horrible to me. So my suspicion is you're doing whatever you're doing out of love, and you're also at work because you're experiencing an element of truth in terms of pain and suffering as a result of your own lives and as a result of others' lives in this world. And that to me shows maturity, that to me shows consciousness, that to me shows love. Within a very complex situation that is planet Earth 2022. Managing different levels of consciousness in terms of human beings on the planet at any given time. Managing the complexities of the outside world in terms of civilization and society. And finding an ultimate balance in a route forward that can allow awakening to happen as quickly as possible, as painlessly as possible. But you have to be quiet about it, because it's painful for whatever reason to come out with the truth. So I bought that idea and I've integrated it as part of my active awareness to life. It's what I actively believe now. It was too painful to believe that. To continue in a pursuit of search. Are you doing it out of love? Are you not? I'm fickle to pain. I just go the route where there's less pain. And essentially when I made the decision to make these positive changes a few weeks back, months now, I was aware that being nice to people again, when it's against my true feelings towards people, would be difficult to manage on a mental level. Because I was almost certain the collective psychosis, you'd continue your ways, your behaviour and your treatment to me. I was in no illusion you'd ease up. I didn't imagine it would get harder again, but I didn't imagine it would ease up. But in that place of just being nice to people, I guess it was such a relief. My mental health took advantage and was making me extra happy. And when I experienced you being extra nasty, it was extra painful. And it knocked me for 6. Well, it knocked me for 3 days, 2 days, however many. And I've realised in this place, you're probably giving me a break from my life that I'll never be able to admit that. A break that I desperately needed. I would never have taken a break otherwise. And it's not really a break, but the stress level is totally off until I start getting up again tomorrow. And I'm sure these 2 days have done wonders. Well, yesterday wasn't a wonder for my body, because I'm fighting physically as well. But at least today I definitely got something out of it. I'm taking an attitude towards life I've not done in a long, long time, even if it's temporary. But I've realised just giving myself space for a couple of days, feeling into this latest abuse, that is simple. I felt you the other day. I felt how you behaved towards me. I remember it very, very well. And the answer is carry on being polite and carry on hating you all at the same time. I guess in the back of my mind that hate wouldn't be there somehow. I'd remove that hate, and maybe that will come in time. But for the immediate, I hate people. I'm very ill. I've been very hard done by you all. But I'm still going to be polite. I'm still going to give my life for you all, in service. And as I said, maybe in time, that hate, no matter what you do to me, it's probably going to go this, well, who knows? It's a bit like 50-50 at the moment in my head. But no matter what you do to me, I know that you love me beyond the pain in the immediate. And that is what's going to keep coming back for that next punch, like an abusive partner. In a fucked up world. I don't know your plan, I don't know your logic, your mentality, your sanity towards this world and seeing us through, all through to a better place. But I trust that you have one. Because you are many and I am one. And I don't take arrogance within that. I try to stay humble. I know my mentality, my awareness, my wisdom, and it's very basic, very simplistic. And I'm aware that if you combine many into one, you're obviously going to be a lot more conscious and aware than myself. So I trust in your you have a plan. And that's it. That's all it was to share. And I can get back to my life and putting in an hour's DIY today to get the boat a little bit better for tomorrow. We're all hurting, man. We're all hurting, whether we know it or not. We hold pain within our bodies that we're not even aware of. And only once that pain is gone and we've experienced a level of relief to it, experienced life without it, and then it comes back, are we truly aware of the pain we hold in our bodies? And I see bodies. I mean, I see through the wisdom that my uncle imparted onto me in terms of qigong and posture, and how at least the people I see on TV, the internet, the people I pass in the street, are all in pain in terms of their posture and body. I don't even have to really think about it too much. If